So looking at these questions, it's helpful to compare it to other ideas. For example, Virchow's trias, it's about why the body develops blood clots, and he makes 3 points basically. There's a change in flow, there's a change in the substance, and there's a change in the membrane. Yeah? So he talks about flow patterns, changes of the flow patterns like turbulences. He talks about changes in the substance, which is basically the elastic quality, the fluency of the blood itself. Yeah? So the blood is the substance. And then the third part, there's a change in the membrane, which is the endothelium. So if these three things come together, yeah, then the likelihood of building blood clots is much higher. So that's an important concept to bring flow, substance, and membrane together. And if we do the same now with like the lung, so how would that work? So what's the flow in the lung? So it's the ventilation, but the ventilation is not the gas exchange. So where is the gas exchange happening? In the alveoli. And are there the same rules there? No, because you have diffusion in the alveoli, and you even have diffusion in the little piece before the alveoli. So diffusion and ventilation is not the same. So it's important to actually look at all the different qualities, the flow, the substance, and the membrane. And then actually, I don't know if you know that I think it was President Clinton in his first campaign. He said, "It's the economy, stupid." Yeah, it's basically saying, how can you ignore the fact that people vote because they have needs and the economy is there? And if the economy is bad, you don't get votes. And if the economy is good, then you get the votes. Yeah? So that's one of Clinton's campaign advisors came up with this saying, "It's the economy, stupid." Yeah? So if it's about what the subject we're talking about now, it's the autoregulation, stupid. Yeah. So it's the gradients. Yeah. So if you ask yourself what is regulating the intake of air, or what is regulating the exchange in the capillary system, so it's local, it's auto-regulated, and it's gradients, so it's concentration gradients. So these are the things that the physiology needs. So basically, then you're talking about vascular permeability in the capillary system, and it's important to note, there's a regulation for health and in disease, for example, in inflammation. The permeability is changed by local, basically proteins and local reactions. But in health, it's really only the concentration gradient between what happens in the capillary and what happens around the capillary. So there are no muscles, there's no nervous system. So locally, there's the permeability of the blood vessel, and then the local gradients between, let's say, the concentration of O2 in the blood vessel and the concentration of O2 outside the blood vessels, or CO2 and other molecules. So that's what it takes to make things move there. So you can be then more specific. You go into the capillary hydrostatic and interstitial hydrostatic, but it's basically all pressure, which means concentration gradients. So you can be much more specific, but it basically means whatever can pass because there's a local pressure difference. So you want to work where it matters most. Of course, that's where we want to work. But where does it matter most? It's in the capillaries. Does the autonomous nervous system has an effect there? No. So definitely not. So this is all local, it's all mechanical, and it's all auto-regulated. So the same is true for the alveoli. So working where it matters most would be working on the alveoli, on the membrane, because this is where we take in oxygen, and this is where we get rid of carbon dioxide. So the same, cell membranes. So every cell has a membrane, and if you want to work on the cell membrane, that would be ideal. Of course, it would be even more better to work inside the cell. But if you want to work where it matters most, you might want to end up working on the cell